Come here, lad, and we'll see whether you've got seawater in your blood. Do you suffer from scurvy, rickets, or gout? There's no place in the Navy for sick sailors, yet the lack of fresh food on board ship makes many of them ill. Can you steer a huge ship in the... The steering wheel turns a ship slowly. A lighted compass and the stars help you steer on a dark night. Can you name all the sails and say what each rope does? To make sure the wind fills the sails, the crew adjusts them using 150 different ropes. Are you willing to sleep in a hammock next to 200 sailors who badly need baths? Ships are crowded places, and sailors' canvas beds are so close they touch. There is no way to escape the sounds and smells of your shipmates. Are you willing to eat biscuits as hard as bricks? At sea, sailors eat hard bread called ship's biscuit. They dunk it in their stew to make it easier to chew. Do you have all your fingers and toes? A sailor must move quickly and learn to tie many knots. Hard to do without fingers and toes. Would you get dizzy adjusting a sail 100 feet above the deck? Sailors must climb high up the masts and balance on thin ropes while they haul in heavy sails. Hey, you are a natural sailor. Are you sure that you have never been to sea before? I'm proud to have you aboard. You will join the crew as a boy. That's the lowest rank, but you will still be a proper sailor, and you'll soon be promoted to ordinary seaman if you work hard. We are giving you some of your pay in advance, but out of that, you'll need to buy slops. That's what we call your clothes, and everything else the Navy does not supply.
A dirty deck is a sign of a good-for-nothing crew, so get down on your knees with the others, boy. That block of stone is a prayer book, but this is no chapel. You use it to scrub the deck, with the help of sand and water. You have worked hard at this. Well, what have we got here? You look like a fit young lad, and we could certainly do with your help. You can be our powder monkey, and keep this here gun supplied with what we need to blast the English to kingdom come. Your task, lad, is to scurry down to the magazine, 2 decks below, and fetch us up powder, 1 cartridge at a time. Don't trip over anything, and watch out for stray cannonballs. And officers. Keep that pace up, lad, and we Ah, good lad, right on time, just when we need you. You can empty this chamber pot. You're done serving, officer.
Psst, sailor, want to have some fun and win some money? We're playing Going to Boston, and you could throw the dice too. Come on, you'll pick up the rules in a snap.
There was a fight this morning on... You admit the crime, do you, sailor? Well, you're foolish... Good to see you again, lad. Ready for...
clumsy oaf.
You have worked hard at this. Here he is again, lads. No chance of us running out of powder with this boy fetching it. Go on, lad, we need some. You were born to be a powder. Here he is now, gentlemen. You're done serving, officers.
Psst, sailor, want to have some fun and win some money?
Let's see if you can get those You have worked hard at this. We shall make a sailor out of you in no time. Here he is again, lads.
Feckless head rag!
Clumsy oaf. You'll have to work harder than that. Here he is now, gentlemen. We were just talking about... You're done, sir. There's a ship on the horizon. Ship ahoy! This cry from the masthead alerts the crew to a distant sail. It is the British frigate Guerriere. Within 3 hours, the two ships are close enough to open fire with their cannons, and a battle begins that will make Constitution famous. At first, the gunfire has little effect. When an English cannonball bounces off Constitution's timbers, a seaman cries, "Huzzay! Her sides are made of iron!" and earns the ship her famous nickname. The battle grows fiercer when Captain Hull sails closer to Guerriere. Pounding broadsides from Constitution's skilled gun crews bring down the English ship's mizzenmast, and the two vessels collide. Their rigging tangles, and the crews clash with musket fire. When the ships separate, Guerriere's other two masts crash overboard. crippled and helpless, the English ship fires a single gun to signal defeat. When battle ends, the two sides count the cost. Because Constitution's gunners aimed low, Guerriere is full of holes and sinking. Her captain comes aboard and surrenders. Captain Hull orders the rest of the crew aboard his ship and sets Guerriere on fire. As the flames take hold, surgeons from both ships work side by side on the casualties. For some, it's too late. The battle has claimed 7 American and 15 British lives. But first aid helps save Constitution's 7 wounded and more than 10 times as many from Guerriere. Well done, lad. Your gun captain tells me you did a magnificent job for one so young and inexperienced. I am more than delighted to promote you to the rank of ordinary seaman. Good evening, sailor. Will you be taking...
It takes more than 100 ropes to rig them sails up there so that they best catch the wind and speed our ship along. Each rope has a different name, but fortunately, you don't have to remember what they are all called. You'll just have to know which to pull and when. So watch what I do, then click the pin rails in the same order.
Reef topsails!
That was a fine effort. You hauled well. The watch is changing now, so you're done hauling for today, but we'll be back at it tomorrow. Practice makes perfect, lad.
Psst, sailor.
I like a sailor who...
Clumsy oaf.
You have worked hard at this. Who was cursing the master-at-arms in the head this morning? If you won't tell me who it was, I shall have all of you punished. Well done. By naming that man, you have spared yourself and your companions from punishment. I dare say that they would have preferred that you hold your tongue, but the captain will reward your honesty with a higher rank.
So you think you're ready to load and fire a gun? Well, you will need to pay close attention, for it's not an easy task. To start, I'll keep it simple, seeing as how you've just joined the crew. Just watch what the gun captain does, then repeat each step in the same order. Well done! You made a valiant effort there, sailor. With a bit more practice. You're here at last. I can do with some help. There are so many of these darn rats. They will eat the whole ship if we let them. Take this club and help me whack them. Or don't whack the cats or the dog. They're on our side. And don't whack the ends of the barrels either. Great! You taught them rats a lesson they won't forget in a hurry. Now, tomorrow, though, there will be even more crawling out of the woodwork, so come down to the hold again.
Your clothes are a disgrace, sailor. Have you been using them?
It takes more than 100 ropes to rig them sails up there so that they best catch the wind and speed our ship along. Each rope has a different name, but fortunately, you don't have to remember what they are all called. You'll just have to know which to pull and when. So watch what I do, then click the pin rails in the same order.
Set mainsail!
That was a fine effort. You hauled well. Psst, sailor, you want to have some fun and win some money?
I like a sailor who...
Watch out! Reckless head rag.
You have worked hard at this.
Just in time. This gun crew needs an extra man. That was excellent, Seaman. You really gave it your...
Look alert, sailor. You may not be on watch right now, but can't you hear the drummer sounding beat to quarters? Your shipmates are making for their battle stations with all possible haste. The reason is plain to see on the horizon. A frigate flying the British flag. The enemy ship is HMS Java, a frigate smaller and lighter than Constitution. Captain Bainbridge gives the order to open fire in the early afternoon. In a devastating duel of seamanship, gunnery, and cunning, Constitution leaves the British ship a complete wreck, barely afloat. Constitution's crew gives 3 cheers when the enemy haul down their flag, showing that they surrender. Almost immediately, Constitution's 2 surviving boats row the short distance to the defeated Java. Climbing aboard, First Lieutenant George Parker finds a scene of total destruction, with the dead and injured everywhere among the tangled rigging and splintered wood. The defeated British crew comes aboard Constitution. Captain Bainbridge decides Java cannot be saved, and orders her set ablaze. The explosion of the magazine full of gunpowder sinks her. Bravo! For a seaman of such little experience, you are a credit to Constitution. You have done so well that I have decided to promote you. When you return to the ship, you will have the rank of able seaman.
There are so many of these darn rats. They will... Great! You taught them rats a lesson.
The Master-at-Arms tells me one of you was falling over drunk last. You admit the crime, do you?
Psst, sailor. What happened?
Are you ready for a challenge, able seaman? For this gun lacks a captain. Before they take aim at the enemy, the gun crew needs some practice under your command, firing at drifting barrels. Go on, have a go. You need a careful aim, and to hit the target, you have to fire at just the right moment. Gun captain. You man. Yes. A fine effort. You had... Good evening, sailor. Will you be taking grog?
You're here at last. I can do with some help. There are so many of these... Great! You taught them rats a lesson they won't forget in a hurry. Tomorrow, though, there will be even more crawling out of the woodwork, so... Psst, sailor. What happened?
Are you ready for a challenge, able seaman? I'm glad you are on our side, for many of your shots found the target. Man both larboard and starboard guns! We shall soon do battle with not one but 2 ships. We have been closing in on the enemy for an hour, and it looks like night will fall before they are in range. No matter. Both ships are smaller than Constitution, and we are in the perfect position to attack them. Bring up powder and more round shot! Constitution's powerful guns make it an uneven fight. For much of the battle, we pound the enemy while staying out of range of their weaker cannons. Even when their cannonballs strike our hull, they do little damage. An hour after sunset, the larger ship, HMS Cyan, surrenders. Defeating her companion, Levant, takes another 4 hours. Eventually, though, her captain also realizes he cannot escape and hauls down the red ensign. Third Lieutenant William Shubrick rows over to accept the surrender of the Levant at the end of the battle. He finds a grisly scene, as a midshipman who is with him describes later. The mast was for several feet covered with brains and blood. Teeth, pieces of bone, fingers and large pieces of flesh were picked up from the deck. There are few of Constitution's crew in the makeshift hospital in the cockpit. Just 14 Americans have been wounded, and 4 lost their lives in the battle. 3 times as many British have been wounded, and the surgeon treats them as they come aboard from the 2 crippled vessels. Most have been injured by cannon fire, for darkness prevented Marines from taking aim with their muskets. Well, congratulations, sailor. You have completed your 3rd and final cruise with Constitution and risen from the rank of boy to able seaman. You should be proud of yourself. You have helped win 3 battles and capture 4 enemy ships. And of course you get more than fine words for that, for you have earned some prize money. Just sign the purser's book and you can have your share and go ashore. Farewell and good luck.